Good day, friends. My presentation today is on Apple's recent sensation of phenomenal sales and historic numbers that we have been seeing in all the posts. So, Apple, as we all know, the magical company. Recently, we had the quarter results out for Apple, and it is a whooping 74.5 million iPhones sold in the quarter, which is at least 12 million more than the expectation. Profit soars more than 37% to $18 billion, and that's the largest ever in the corporate history. The previous one was by Gazprom, which is 16.2 billion profit posting for its first quarter of 2011. So here are some cool facts that Apple has posted. We heard from Tim Cook, the Apple CEO, that Apple has sold at an average 30,000 iPhones every hour. And iPhone is already the single best-selling gadget of all time, and iPhone could outsold some of the gadgets made by the entire industries. For example, the TV industry sold somewhere closer to 60 million televisions. The tablet industry sold close to 54 million tablets. And in fact, it was much closer to the even the computer industry, meaning desktops and laptops put together. Um, the likes of HP, Dell, Lenovo, all put together were able to sell 84 million, and Apple wasn't much far. And I think if we go back a few years, there were a lot of glim predictions for Apple's future. The growth started to seeing a slowdown, and with also the demise of the star CEO Steve Jobs, things started to look very gloomy, and also the smartphone market saturated in the United States and also parts of Europe. And in fact, Apple had made an entry in China, but the sales were slipping, and Apple was already the number six smartphone maker in China, trailing its Asian rivals like Lenovo, Samsung, etc. However, how things changed. The main, I would say, one of the biggest and main factors for a boost is the Chinese boost. Um, 6.1 billion in revenue from just Greater China, which includes mainland China, Hong Kong, and Taiwan. Um, the fiscal for first quarter up 70% compared to the same quarter last year. Apple is now number one smartphone maker in China. So, how did this all happen? The answer to this question is multiple folds. But one of the key deals that made this possible is the deal with China Mobile. China Mobile is a huge company in China with 800 million subscribers, and it is also growing its operations in China. 25 new stores planned over the next 2 years. I think already it has 15 stores in that area, and it has the voice usage of 4.32 trillion minutes. So no wonder it's a huge market for Apple. And also, if you look at some figures, these are the figures of China Mobile, and over I mean, these are data for 12 and 13, but you can see very well the customer base increasing from 710 million to 767 in 2013, and in 2014 it is already 800 million subscribers. So it's a huge base, and Apple was able to grab this deal, and it's showing phenomenal results. So Apple has never sold more than 70, I'm sorry, more than 51 million iPhones in a quarter. And and last we looked at China's biggest mobile provider, China Mobile's deal made this possible. And Apple had, in fact, sold more iPhones in China than in the United States. So let's look at a few of the key features that has made this possible. Um, so we know that iPhone is one of the key contributors to the sales, and two-thirds of the profits coming from iPhone. iPhone 6 has proven to be extremely popular with customers because mainly it attracted the bigger smartphone lovers, and the 4.7-inch screen competes with some of the Android competitors out there like Samsung, HTC, and also in the iPhone 6 featured a superior camera, and in fact the even bigger the iPhone 6 Plus, which is a higher priced than iPhone 6, also had driven a major part of the sales. So is iPhone's success solely due to China? Well, not really. It had many other features which are very crucial in Apple's success. Um, Apple's global supplier base, one of the key contributors to Apple's success. Its well developed supply chain and its commitments to ethics and compliance. So when I say ethics to compliance, it includes empowering workers, labor and human rights, giving importance to health and safety, environment and accountability. So if you look at the global spectrum of Apple suppliers, this is the view of the Apple supplier basis. If you see 349 locations in China, 139 in Japan, and 42 in Taiwan, and 32 in South Korea. So they have a lot of or their major manufacturing in the East, and they were able to take leverage of the labor available there and also the resources, and they are able to maximize the benefits, and which is starting to show up in the bottom line. And the two key suppliers of Apple is Foxconn and Flextronics. And recently also Apple um, had also had given their list of suppliers, the official list of suppliers online, which is quite interesting. And if you see for the past few years that Apple had been in the news for a lot of wrong reasons because of human rights violations, people working for long hours and all that. So taking note of that, now Apple has very stringent audits in place. So these include third-party audits, surprise interviews, and the audit itself is tailor-made, um, involving interviews of workers, managers, and also accounting various ethics and compliance factors factored into this. And also we can see in the graph it's shooting up to 451 audits in 2013, and Apple says it's still growing. So, and these are the numbers posted by Apple in their website for the compliance to the work hours, that is work weeks, which is compliant to 16-hour standard, which is we can say safely it's more than 95%. It's heading there, so that's a positive tone for Apple. So these are the global factors that were driving Apple, and also I would like to end the presentation with a note on their on their new products like the Apple Watch, which is expected to hit the market in April 2015. And Apple had been hugely successful. Yes, mainly is because of its manufacturing capabilities, supplier base, its Chinese operations, its superior technology. But one pinnacle of its triads, I would say, is R&D. And Apple had invested $6 billion this year, which is 3.3% of their revenue on R&D, which shows their clear commitment to continually improve, innovate, and be the world leader, and to lead the business world and to capture the market in days to come. And let's see how it goes. Thank you, friends. Thank you for listening to my presentation.